Good morning, everybody. Happy race day. We're talking about Darlington today, and I'm super excited for today's race, mainly because it's Darlington. It is always a fun track. But this week, they're running the high horsepower and the low downforce package. So these cars should be slipping and sliding, it should be more in the driver's hands this week. Really wish they were still doing a lot of the throwback paint schemes. It's probably a good thing for my wallet though, because I would always buy those die casts. Hopefully you can see some of them on the wall back there. But anyways, in terms of the strategy, this track is all about risk and reward. Um, a lot of drivers will say you got to race the racetrack. There's going to be some comers and goers. Tires are going to be really important. There's going to be a lot of fall off. And hopefully, maybe you saw that in the Truck Series race when Corey Heim just went from ninth to first on like basically one lap, how much tires mean. You can also gain time by running the wall. If you do ride the wall, it is a little bit risky, especially if you get into the wall. You could break a toe link, you could mess up your balance, your steering, whatever it might be. But you can also run really fast lap times and advance your position. So super excited for today's race. In terms of strategy, kind of your typical Darling or DFS approach, maybe 2 to 3 lap leaders, looking at some place differential upside in some value plays. Um, so when we get to the driver by driver breakdown, we got Hamlin, Briscoe, Larson, Blaney, and Byron up here in the expensive range. Um, don't have anyone up here on the front row, which is a little interesting. So for me, my two favorite plays are going to be the Toyotas. It's going to be Hamlin and Briscoe. Hamlin has a win here. He has 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s, average finish of 10th, which is second best in the field at Darlington, only behind Tyler Reddick. He's one of the best at managing his tires. He offers some place differential upside, lap leading, ability as well too. He's the most expensive, so a little bit more of a tournament option, but hard to go against Denny Hamlin at Darlington. And then I also really like Chase Briscoe. So Chase Briscoe is actually the only driver in the field that has multiple wins at Darlington in the next gen era. He has two. Starting 23rd gives you a lot of place differential upside, just like his teammate Ty Gibbs, who we'll get to a little bit later. He was also really good on the long run, and typically we get long runs at Darlington, so he's a driver I'm looking forward to seeing move his way through the field. Um, Larson is arguably the best, most skilled driver that we have at Darlington. However, that comes with a lot of risk, mainly because he will ride the wall. In riding the wall, it only takes one lap, one turn, 1 second to get up into it, and your day can be over. So he has 3 DNFs over the 8 Darlington races for that reasons. He does have the most laps led in the field. Like I said, he's either a boom or bust. Either he's going to go out there and dominate, and you're going to be silly if you don't play him, or he'll have an accident and probably finish 28th or 30th or something like that. Um, Guy I'm just really not getting to is going to be Ryan Blaney. Of where he starts, it's kind of a tough spot. His place differential upside is limited. His Darlington stats historically are not the best. His practice times were okay. I'd rather just get to other plays. William Byron, pretty good tournament play. I don't really know how much ownership he's going to get, but he's actually accumulated the most amount of points of anyone in the field over the 8 Darlington races. He also has a win, 3 top 5s, and 5 top 10s. Practice times were okay, so maybe that'll keep people off of him, but I think he'll be better, come race time. And then we get to the 9K range, and a lot of guys I really like in this range. You got Bell and Reddick. Really like Christopher Bell, kind of the same thing as Chase Briscoe. Good place differential upside. Projects really well. He has 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 8 races. He's run all 3 races this weekend, so he's a lot of track time. Joe Gibbs just looks really good in general. And then Reddick. Reddick is going to be the main dominator today in terms of projected dominator. He was the fastest car in the 20, the 25, and the 30 lap averages. Got the pole when it came time to go fast in qualifying. Has the best average finish in the field. He has 5 top 5s in 8 Darlington races. A lot to like about Tyler Reddick, including his price tag. You can really build around Reddick and really get to anyone that you want. Um, Another guy I'm just really not getting to is going to be Chase Elliott. More of a pivot lap leader type of play, but his practice times don't really suggest he'll be a lap leader. Now he should run well. I just don't know if he can get out front and lead laps like you need him to. but kind of a nice contrarian GPP, lap leader type of play. Logano and Chastain are basically the same type of plays for me. Logano actually has a win here. Neither of these guys I feel confident can lead laps, but they start so deep in the field and they have good average finishes that I think they offer some good place differential upside. So I really like pairing Logano and Chastain or one of those guys, or even both of them together with some of your favorite lap leaders. Um, don't count out Bubba Wallace. He didn't quite have the pace that Reddick did in practice. I would lean on Tyler Reddick for that reason and just Tyler Reddick's track history here. But come qualifying, 23:11 was very fast. He's right there. He starts on the front row. He's $1,000 cheaper. We know he's going to be lower owned. So I really like playing Bubba Wallace in tournaments, specifically as a pivot play off of, the Reddick chalk. Um, Busher is a guy I'm just really not getting to, mainly because of where he starts. Maybe he can be like contrarian lap leader. However, place differential is kind of limited. But he is 5 of 8 finishing in the top 10 here, which is pretty good. So, maybe a tournament play. Ty Gibbs going to be really popular mainly because of his price tag. The Gibbs cars have been really fast. Offers a good place differential upside starting in 28th. And he was also one of the better cars in the long run. So just like we're thinking with Bell and Briscoe, they'll be able to work their way through the field as the laps go on. I think Ty Gibbs is right in that category as well. He's just much cheaper than the other guys. Um, Kyle Busch will be a guy I'm watching, but I'm not really playing. He looked pretty good in practice. He was actually top five across the lap averages, just like Carson Hocevar, who we'll also talk about here. And maybe the package that we're running, where it's a little bit more on the driver's side than the equipment side, will actually be a benefit to him. But starting eighth, DFS wise, it's just tough to rely on an RCR car right now. Hocevar is actually one of the guys who is running a throwback paint scheme. So thank you, Spire, and thank you, Hocevar and Chili's for doing that. So love the paint scheme. For DFS, he's kind of tough to rely on. We know he's going to be fast. He has those flashes of speed, but he doesn't always get the results to show for it. So he was top five across the practice metrics, so he should be good. We just don't know if his results, his finish will be good. Um, Keselowski's kind of in the same boat as Busher. He does have a win at Darlington, more of a contrarian lap leader, but 50% of the time he's finished in the top 10 over the next gen, races at Darlington. So same thing as with Chris Busher. He most likely will compete for a top 10 today. I just don't know if DFS wise that'll do it for you with where he starts, and I don't know if he'll be able to run fast laps or get you laps led. The guy that I do like is going to be Eric Jones. This is his best track. He has a win here. One win, two top fives, three top tens, and 8 races. Average finish of 16th. There's a couple DNFs, I think, in there, but good value and place differential upside. He was really fast in practice, too. So, really like the value. If you like the RFK cars, I would argue Ryan Preece might make the most sense. He's the cheapest. He gives you the most place differential upside. Still a little bit more of a tournament play, but, I don't mind going there. Josh Berry is one of the better drivers in the field managing tires, which you're going to need today. The 21 team has really struggled this year, and Darlington hasn't been a great track for him. In 5 races, his average finish here is 28th. But I'm hoping with a little bit more focus on tire management that that'll be a benefit for him. Um, Cindric was really fast in practice, which was kind of shocking to see. He was actually fastest in the 5, 10, and 15 lap averages. However, given his history here, his average finish is around 18th. Starting 12th, there's really not too much interest for me despite the fast practice times. Zilich is just having an awful year. Not always his fault, but just hard to rely on him right now. Decent practice times, but really until we start seeing this team string some finishes together, I don't really feel confident plugging him in for DFS. Allgaier starts 15th. He won the O'Reilly race yesterday. He's in a Hendrick car. However, starting 15th is a little tough for DFS. I don't really think he can move forward that much from where he starts. Um, Zane Smith, maybe a low on tournament play. He has a 12.5, basically 13th place average finish if you look at the last two Darlington races. So pretty good. His practice times are okay, but he got a long run in practice. So this team should really know what they have and what they need for today's race. John Hunter Nemechek starts mid-pack, probably going to finish there, so I'm really just not getting to him. AJ Allmendinger, I am getting to, though. However, he has a pretty good track history at Darlington. Average finish of about 15th. He has one top five in four races. So good place differential upside and value for $6,100. McDowell's kind of like John Hunter Nemechek, most likely will run and finish around where he starts. Suarez has had good speed this year, but starting 11th is just a little bit too far forward for me. SVG, basically the same thing as Connor Zilic, pretty decent in practice. Starts deep in the field. He's $1,000 cheaper than Zilic, so I'd rather just play SVG. Gregson, another guy that always seems to have incidents, hard to play him. Todd Gilliland, pretty good. 19th place average finish. I don't think a lot of people are going to click on him. He didn't do a long run in practice, which is a little concerning, but with where he starts and how cheap he is, I don't mind getting to him. Stenhouse and Dillon both start a little bit too far forward for me. I really don't mind Cole Custer or Ty Dillon. Both of them have an average finish around 22nd, 23rd, and they're basically 5 grand. So, and they start pretty much DFL, on the last row. So just pure attrition plays and allows you to really stack the studs. Wouldn't recommend playing Cody Ware or Timmy Hill. And Riley Herbst, maybe for tournaments. He's in a 2311 car. 2311 qualified 1-2. Starts far forward, yes, but he's only $4,700 and he was running top 10 times in practice across all the practice averages. So if you can just finish 18th or 20th today for $4,700, that's a pretty good value play, but I would only go there in tournaments. So hopefully that was helpful. Today's video, hopefully this helps you guys enjoy the race. If you did enjoy this video, dropping a like and a comment is always appreciated. You can get this spreadsheet over on X. It's at FastCarsFM. But enjoy the race today, and we will catch you on the next one.